All right, welcome to the IC7000 video series. This is part 4. A little late getting it out this week. I'd normally have had it done by Sunday, but grandkids were over. It's Christmas time. What can I say? So we're going to get this thing done. So today we're going to take the 7000. We're going to do the mods modification on it. Not going to spend a whole lot of time. Mainly because it's already been covered on many videos with people with much better videography than I do. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys to check that out. But let's just go ahead and open up the 7000. And this is where we left off last week, right? Where we were adding the fan speed motor and all these controllers. To get to the mods modification, we're going to have to remove 1, 2, 3 screws, which I have already removed. You're going to pull up this little board. And that's right, if some of you guys are really astute here, you may notice that I've got a little SMA here that is going to be, yes, that is going to be for the IF tap modification that we're going to get to eventually in this series. But that little board is going to go here, and we're going to run our cable from the SMA to that. And that's how we're going to tap into the second IF for an SDR. You don't have to drill this hole here, and we'll get into that when we do that video. You can certainly just route that wire through here. Something like this. Put this back in place. Something like that. And just have a wire hanging out and no holes to drill. So I recommend that method unless you really just want a super clean installation. It's just a lot easier just to run the wire out, and then your SDR will plug into that. So anyhow, without further ado, let's get into the mods modification. You're going to want to locate, and I can zoom a little bit more here. You're going to want to locate from your microphone jack or your Cat6 connector, Cat5, connector. Come out here and find these 2 chips with that connector next to it, right? That connector is this one. So when you unplug this, you end up with these 2 chips. On here, we want to remove all the diodes. I don't know if I can make this work or not for you. Let's see. Yeah, it might actually work. Let's see if you can see that. So there's those. Here are the 2 chips I was talking about. And what we're going to do is remove all the diodes except for this one. We're going to leave this one in place. And I'll leave a little diagram for you on which ones you're going to pull in the notes section here. But if you look carefully, there are no diodes. I've already done this one. So yes, we're going to take out, make sure there's nothing here, here, or here. Sometimes you got to take the one off of here and move it over to there. I don't know. I bought all my radios used, so somebody's, could be that somebody's gone in and changed things already. I know some of these radios are already modded, but yeah. That's the extent of the modification. Now, I bought one of these handy dandy things, which is a pair of tweezers, but they're soldering tweezers, so you can just go in there, heat up the part, pick it up, and remove it. It does okay, like anything else. It's a little tricky. The other is a hot air blower. If you've got one, you set this on very low. Those parts are what, 20 by 10s, 10 by 20s, 20, yeah. They're so small that it's not much more than a fleck of dust. So good pair of tweezers, a little bit of heat. Remove those. I normally stand them up, tombstone them, so they're there to be reused by the next guy. I couldn't do that here because it approximates to other parts, and I didn't really like what it was going to look like robustly. So what I did is I just taped it to I just taped them with a little Kapton tape to the inside cover in case somebody wants to reverse this. So after you've done that, we're going to simply place this back into place, screw it in, close up the radio, and you'll have mods modification. And that's good if you have privilege. If you don't have the privileges to work those bands, you probably don't need to do the modification. I live about 5 miles from the beach and less than that to the intercoastal waterway, and every week some yahoo gets himself stuck out there on a sandbar, probably fishing or just drinking, who knows. And so yeah, most of the time they just make a call to the Coast Guard or to the boat tow service, and someone will come pull them off the sandbar. Occasionally the guy has only a walkie-talkie with him or something, and he just can't get through to some help, and I'm listening to that and kind of giggling, but I do relay the message for him. So the Moz mod for the marine frequencies comes in useful for me. That way I don't have to have a separate marine radio sitting on the bench and a separate antenna and everything else. 1, 2. And I'm going to put that number 3 in over there that I took out that I didn't need to. And you can already see, getting ahead of myself into next week's video, that Moz modification is going to, or this, the IF tap is going to, that wire is going to route up under here, just like that, and get me to the point where I need to be. So that's it for the Moz modification. I'll temp a couple of little excerpts in from other videos that other people have taken with much better cameras than me. And if you have any questions, yeah, I'll put the links to those in there too. It's not, I don't think it's any harder than what you guys did last week, to be honest with you. So, yeah, we'll just keep moving on this one little bit every week. Now I've got on my bench, I got 6 of these things to do, so I'm not going to take you through all 6, but by the end of all 6, I should be the expert at this. I've already thrown on the bench and powered it up and tested it. It's transmitting where I want it to, so we're good with that. I've got the SMA in there for the IF tap coming up next week. I think I left you guys with some questions last week. If not, we'll get them in here, but I really want to start to get some feedback, whether you're planning on using a PC or a Raspberry Pi, or maybe I should just say a Unix or Linux box, or an x86 Windows machine, or yeah, what kind of computer you're going to use. If you're going to use, an old laptop's fine, right? You see me putting this thing into this to-go box, but if you got a laptop sitting around, especially if you're not, if it's an older version of Windows or something, I know 10 is now discontinued, go ahead and throw Linux on there, and that computer will no longer be obsolete, and you'll have a great operating system. I like Linux Mint Cinnamon Edition, or is it Linux Cinnamon Mint Edition? But you'll find it. It looks and feels a lot like Windows on purpose. It's got a nice repository for adding software, just like using Google Play or something like that. You just go in there and push the button and it downloads software. You don't have to do as much of the command stuff as loading some of those Linux. I know that keeps a lot of people away from Linux, because loading the software is getting into those repositories and that, it's always is this thing going to work or not? I don't know. You play with it. But this is just like, shoot, just like using Windows, except all the software on there is free. There's a free version of Microsoft Office and everything else. So this one's finished. Should we start the next one? This one's still got the power plug. I don't need to mess with that. Drop this down so I get a flat surface to work on. And let's see if this one's been modified. Let's see, is this one of my screws? I don't think so. I think it's a speaker screw. Let's stick with the ones we need. 1, 2. Maybe I'll do some kind of hyperlapse for you guys so you don't have to watch all this nonsense. 3. But at least take you through the disassembly, since you didn't get to see that. Although it's not any different than what you did last week if you did the temperature mods. 4, 5, and there should be 2 more on the other side if I didn't miss any here. Got that, and that. Good. I think the Moz mod is generally a good mod to have, especially if you're going to be using this in any kind of emergency situation. It allows you to open up and even, I guess, get on this citizen band if you know, if you can't find anyone on the ham bands. Okay, missed the one in the center as normal. Wonder why that wasn't coming off too easy. Yep. It should just come out of there. I don't think the top's ever been off of this one. It's coming. Oh, good Lord. Oh, how stubborn can this be? It's trying to do it on video, right? If I just would pick this up and handle it, it would be fine. But oh, how stubborn can this be? It's trying to do it on video, right? If I just would pick this up and handle it, it would be fine. But on video, everything's got to be a little harder. All right, so here we are. You can see no fan modification on this one of any kind. But let's go ahead and open this up. We've got one here. I need a little persuasion. I give it a little good push downward and then pull it up. A magnetic screwdriver is helpful. Pull this out of the way as we did last week, and there's your other one hiding down here. No SMA here, so this one is not ready for the IF tap. I'll catch up my other radios later. I've got 6 of these things I've accumulated over the years. I love this little radio. That just pops out of there, 2 connectors. And here we're going to come right back. Here's the 2 chips. And we're going to take off. It's going to have, yeah, let's see if we can zoom in there and see it. So this one looks like the only one. I don't know if you're seeing that or not. Yeah, maybe. Looks like the only one I need to take off is this little guy right here. Problem is the thing that holds my phone also blocks me from seeing what you're seeing, so I can only guess you're seeing it. But we're going to take just this one off. So it's going to be no, 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 yes, no. No, 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 yes, no. So How do I do that? This is my rework gun. Let me just flip it on. Let me let that come up to temperature. Sip of coffee while I'm waiting. Now these heat up pretty fast. Here's a little piece of Kapton. Something to stick it to. And this guy's pretty hot. A trick here is very low airflow, because these parts are small and they want to fly. And there it is. Can you see that little fleck? Stick that right there. And yeah, there's a part there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a teeny little guy. But I'm just going to stick that right on the front cover. And he's now modified. 1, 2 down and 4 to go, I guess, for me. Let's work this back in place. Click, click. First couple times that you'll struggle with that. I had to peek underneath. After the second one here, it's just very easy to get to. So we'll close that up. I should have showed you where the TV mod is. If you guys are interested in that, there is a way to receive analog TV on these. I believe that's already done on one of my, but I don't know if there's any other reasons not to do that. In other words, sometimes you open something up, it comes at the cost of something. I haven't researched that enough. There's no analog TV left in this country anyhow. I guess you could find an analog transmitter and do some amateur television with it, and that would be a good modification to have. So I didn't unplug the speaker and move this away. You could certainly could have done that. It's just all with what you're comfortable with, but for me this is just to disrupt as little as possible. Okay, let's button this one up. And that's 2 I got modified. I'm not going to make you sit through the rest. I'm going to go ahead and process this video. Get it out. It usually goes out at midnight, and now it's already about noon. So I'll get this video out, and then I will finish mine up this afternoon. Don't know what I'm going to do with 6 of these things. One of them is going to become a backup unit in the base. Probably in that same kind of a rack, that 10-inch mini rack that you see me, that you've seen in the other videos, or 12-inch mini rack. And then another 12-inch mini rack to take to the parks, for parks on the air, or take to for beaches on the air. Or I put that one in the wrong spot. Gotta watch that. Okay, you guys gotta keep me honest here. Field day, camping, whatever portable use I decide. And of course, we're gonna have full digital capability. Which brings me to next week's video. I think, yeah, we're going to do some of the power supply work over there, as well as talk about what you're going to use for a sound card. Selections, there's 1,000 of them out there. DigiRig is probably one of the most easiest to use and well known. So we'll do that one, and then yeah, if you want to change to something different, it's the same but different, right? Okay, so there's 2 radios modified. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here and add in the elements that will make this easier for you to follow, process it, and put it out there. But we are getting closer to IF tapping with an SDR, and here it's coming together for sure. I've got this particular board right now, and I'm going to decide over the next week or so if this is the easiest way to do it. I know we can do it with a 10 puff cap and just tap in that way, but you are going to lose some sensitivity in the radio, a couple dB, 3 dB maybe as much. You know, people argue 3 dB is nothing, it's like half-ass unit, you'll never notice it. This is a high impedance probe, so I get several megohms out on this side, so I can tap in without any loss to the radio. Pull a small signal in, use the FET in here to amplify it. I give it about 3 dB amplification. I'm not looking to blow out the, the front end of the SDR. I just want to make up for the losses that we're tapping off of. Yeah, this will, in the end, all of this will be inside the radio, and my SDR will be hanging off right here. Of course, I can make that wire longer and put this thing anywhere I want, but yeah, it'll probably mounted to the case somehow. We'll figure that out. And then off to the computer. Alright, this wraps up week 4. Week 5 is almost shot. Got a couple more clips to take, and then we'll get that out, and then we're going to be doing the IF tap and bringing this guy to life. 7 3s. Talk to you next week.